Although I'd like to introduce you to Victor. He's a typical little 4-year-old boy. He's adorable. He loves to play outside. He's curious. He wants to get his hands into everything, and he loves books. I want you to think back on a time in your life when you were cuddled up with your parent or your grandparent and they were reading that story. In fact, you probably requested a story over and over and over. And if you can't quite think back to that time, think about reading to your own children or reading to your grandchildren. That comfort that it comes from reading books together. That's not something that Victor could ever even imagine. There were a couple of reasons for that. One reason, in his home, there were no books. The main reason that he never climbed up onto his mom's lap and had her read a story to him is that she can't read. It's not that she didn't want to read, but she can't read. The neighborhood that Victor lives in is what we would probably call and deem a really highly impacted neighborhood. The children there, like Victor, are on this trajectory. They kind of have this destiny that they're not going to do well in school. There's so many risk factors going on. It's high poverty. These children are witnessing far more crime than any young children should ever experience in their lives. There are adults, most of the adults have really low education levels. Children like this typically enter school far below their age-mate peers. And what we know from the national research and the research that's taking place right here in the state of Utah is that children that start school behind their age-mate peers don't catch up. It's nearly impossible for even the very best teachers to catch these little children up. They're entering school without all of the skills that they need to hit, and I laugh sometimes even when I say this, the rigor of kindergarten. They're not ready for that. It's fast-paced. Even our best teachers spend time looking back, trying to catch kids up constantly. They do the very best that they can, and yet it's not going to be enough. But there's good news. There's also this other incredible, undeniably strong research that tells us that preschool makes a difference. Not just any preschool, but high-quality preschool, like the kind of preschool that Victor got to go to. I want to share some data. This data, the children that I'm talking about that are on the left-hand side of the screen, these are children who live in Granite School District's 11 most impacted neighborhoods. These are children. Victor is one of these kids. One of these neighborhoods is his neighborhood. You can see a full 50% of those children are not reading at grade level. This is 5th grade CRTs. This is that statewide test just last spring. 50% not reading on grade level. The number on the right hand of the screen, that's the other 5th graders in the rest of the state. While 80% in this graphic looks incredibly high, it's still not high enough. We know that we need to go higher than that. But the disparity between what we're seeing in our most impacted neighborhoods in Granite School District are not unlike what we see in the rest of the state for impacted neighborhoods. When we add this middle group, it's a different story. The children in this middle group that are here, these children live in the same neighborhood as the children on the left-hand side of the screen. They're attending the same classrooms. They're in the seats right next to these other children. So what's the difference? What's the difference between that group in the middle and the group on the left-hand side? All of these children attended preschool, and not just any preschool. They attended a high-quality preschool where all of those kindergarten readiness skills are taught to them. We can't take a chance on leaving it to chance. We just can't do that. So we teach skills in the pre-literacy, like alphabet knowledge, We teach children phonemic awareness and phonological awareness and book knowledge and all of those things that they need for literacy. But one of the main things that we do, and we explicitly teach, vocabulary. We know that vocabulary is one of the strongest predictors of reading success. And children who enter school with a low vocabulary are destined to struggle as readers throughout their lives. So here's Victor with his classmates. They're no longer preschoolers. These little guys are 6th graders in the Granite School District. Their data is that center group of kids. It's all about them. They're all doing well. I've just had the opportunity to talk with Victor just recently, and his mother. Victor is at the top of his class. He still loves to read books. He intends to go to college. He's told me that there is not one thing in this world that could stop him from going to college. He will be the first in his family to do so. His mother is excited. She was so inspired by her 4-year-old son learning to read that she took classes herself and became a reader. She graduated from high school. She has a diploma, and she has an incredible job. Preschool makes a difference. We can't say no. We can't say no. Now is the time. We can't say no to Victor and his age-mate peers. There are 34,000 Victors in Utah. It's time for us to do something now. Thank you.